everybody, so we have a fun review today as we're talking The Monkey. Neon is back at it once again with yet another horror movie that feels almost catered to me personally. I mean, I love Oz Perkins. We're just coming off of him directing Longlegs, but he's adapting a short story from Stephen King that's a pretty wild one, might I add. It's from a short story collection called Skeleton Crew, and I do actually own Skeleton Crew. This had the title Skeleton Crew decades before the most recent Star Wars Disney Plus show. It's one of the many short stories in here that are pretty popular. The most famous one probably is The Mist. After stumbling upon the vintage toy monkey in the attic, twin brothers Hal and Bill witness a string of horrifying deaths unfolding around them. In an attempt to leave the haunting behind, the brothers discard the monkey. However, when the inexplicable deaths resurface, the brothers are compelled to reconcile and embark on a mission to permanently eliminate the cursed toy. If you're going into this film expecting something similar stylistically to the previous film from Oz Perkins, Longlegs, expect to be extremely surprised how outlandishly different the approach is here from a tonal perspective. For the record, I don't mean that in a negative way. I actually think it's a positive. Perkins' style shines through with his direction, yet the monkey is gloriously outlandish in how it blends together the madness and gory carnage. And while doing so, managed to maintain a level of bonkers dark humor that's delightfully entertaining. I mean, with a premise that's so ludicrous, a wind-up monkey that causes death and destruction in its wake is a silly one, but in the context of this movie, it is incredibly satisfying. The best way I could describe to you The Monkey is think of Final Destination meets something like Creepshow or Tales of the Crypt with Stephen King's style of writing. Actually, several of the different short stories that were in Skeleton Crew ended up being episodes from The Twilight Zone in the 80s, Tales from the Dark Side, and segments in Creepshow, so it just kind of gives you the overall idea of what the vibe is essentially going to be. For as sick and twisted as the story becomes to the point you start to feel so bad for Theo James' predicament, the constant paranoia he feels, terrorized by this monkey popping up again after thinking he left it in the past, only for it to inevitably return and leave many bodies within its wake. The journey that we follow with Hal is a blast. Now, we are still very early into 2025. We haven't had too many horror films yet, but I'm going to be very surprised if there's any horror film that comes out this year that's going to top some of the kills that we see in The Monkey. The film is a complete and utter chaotic bloodbath with some genuinely messed up deaths. The body count in The Monkey is surprisingly solid. Even from a visual standpoint, this monkey is just so creepy looking that it is a little unsettling just anytime he pops up on screen. Even besides the fact that usually once you see him, there's going to be somebody dying not too long afterwards. Oz Perkins' creativity is on full display in these sequences in particular, crafting so many gnarly, awesome, and in some circumstances funny kills depending on the scenario and what it calls for. As this is kind of genre bending as it is a horror film, but it also has a lot of dark comedy to it. There are a ton of moments in The Monkey where you'll definitely want to look away due to the abundance of gore and blood exploding almost literally off of the screen. You find different ways to throw in a joke or two to break up some of the tension, and in doing so, it kind of keeps you on your toes on what exactly will come next. Besides Oz Perkins completely playing into this style for The Monkey, the cast here also assembled understands the assignment and substantially elevates the material. Across the board, the cast here is pretty great, even including Oz Perkins because he does play one of the characters in the film. Christian Convery, Tatiana Maslany plays a very eccentric mother to the twin leads, which, speaking of, Theo James by far is the major standout in The Monkey. He's asked to shoulder much of the film playing twin brothers who have a history with this monkey, and his performance here overall playing both of these twins is pretty great. There's a real charm to his character and his deadpan style of delivery that I enjoyed quite a lot. Plus, his character is just very hilarious. That deadpan delivery does hold a lot of weight in the comedic category for just the amount of BS that he has to endure. Another fascinating detail with the monkey itself and how it plays into the story, in a sort of similar vein to the short story it's based upon, is the symbolism behind it for these two brothers in the context of the story, and what exactly this thing represents for them. This evil monkey serves as this kind of reminder of the trauma they've carried with them pretty much since their childhood, the first time they ever stumbled upon this monkey. Also, another thing that the movie highlights a lot is just the unpredictability of death and fate in of itself. The film never really attempts to present a reasoning behind why this monkey's appearance and the turning of its key causes disasters to happen, which for sure could frustrate some people that they want to understand why the monkey is able to do this stuff. However, I feel like the vagueness of the rules kind of makes it all the more intriguing, as it kind of highlights the whole point of the story, that death, whether you like it or not, is a very cruel beast, and there doesn't really really need to be any type of reasoning for why death happens. I would almost guarantee there's going to be some people that leave the theater being a little bit disappointed that they don't explain, I guess, the lore behind this monkey. Overall, The Monkey is an insanely unique horror experience you have to witness to believe. Oz Perkins brilliantly adapts King's story, highlighting the sadistic, wild terror of it all, managing to have it still feel unique to his style. Like many on-screen adaptations, it isn't a one-to-one copy of the short story. There are a few tweaks here and there that you'll definitely notice if you have read the short story, but regardless, the core essence of what made the story so great in the first place, I felt was still intact. If you're looking for a horror film you can sit back and be in awe of how crazy it can get due to its kills while laughing your ass off, I think you're going to absolutely adore The Monkey. But once you get a chance to check out The Monkey in theaters, make sure you share your thoughts down below. What'd you think of the film? Did you like the film? Did you not like the film? As always, thank you guys so much for checking out the videos. I always do appreciate it. Make sure you like on the video and also subscribe to the channel to update reviews, reactions, unboxings, and more. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.